All right, good morning. It's gonna be a little bit of a different video, but I just want to start posting more and bring you guys along. And if you're interested, good. If not, you know, oh well. But today's Saturday, and I'm going out to spray a yard, and I'm gonna bring you along with me. Now, it's only one yard, and it's because it's a new customer, and they have chinch bugs really bad. So I didn't want to have to make them wait over the weekend to get a treatment down, and have the chinch bugs eat more. This way I can get on top of it as soon as possible. So they also have a lot of stress in the lawn, and I'll show you what this lawn looks like. So I need to take care of that right away. And also I gotta go by one of my soil jobs. You know, there was a compacted area and a lot of traffic, and I may need to rake and loosen it up. So I'm gonna bring it, it's fogging up. You know, Florida morning stuff. So I'm gonna go do that, rake that soil up, I'll bring you with me, and then I'm gonna mix a tank to spray for this new start customer I have that found me from YouTube. So let me show you what I'm gonna mix, and then we're gonna go over and get that soil raked up and see what we can do to help there. Maybe I need to do another aeration for it, but we'll check on that. But I'm gonna bring you with me. I'm gonna post some more of these videos. If you like them, I'll keep doing them. If not, then I don't know. We'll see. I'm just doing stuff. So let's get this tank here mixed. So I have here what I'm gonna mix. I'm gonna use this mic drop, which is lots of humic acid, a small amount of potassium, but lots of micronutrients: magnesium, boron, iron, manganese, zinc, and heavy in humic acid. This is great because this lawn is stressed out, so this can give it some food and nutrients without doing too much. Now, the works as a surfactant to help it stick. I'm using Arena, which is a really good treatment and prevention insecticide, especially for chinch bugs, which they have. So I'm gonna make sure to use a full rate of that to treat. And I decided to use some Armada as well, a fungicide. Gray leaf spot fungus is common in the summer, and when the lawn's weakened by bugs or like stress from over fertilization like this one is, gray leaf spot fungus can definitely run rampant, and fungicides have a stress relieving agent in it. So hopefully that can help, but we're just gonna do just a low rate of this because we definitely don't wanna overdo it. So this is what we're gonna be mixing and applying today for this treatment. And now I'm watching that get up to about 30 gallons, and I'll turn on the pump and get to mixing. We're all mixed up, ready to go. I'm gonna be on the way to the soil job first, see what's going on there. I brought a few rakes and shovels with me, just in case anything needs to be fixed or whatever needs to be done there. So let's go there now and check it out. All right, so here I am back about 10 days later after I put this soil down and checking out this yard. Now, we definitely have some good growth in here, and the front wasn't really the problem. The the main concerns are now there was some landscape work happening in the back, so this area was already really compacted, and this was the only area for me to drive. This other side's very narrow, so this was pretty much the only way for me to drive. And with the lawn already being compacted and me driving over and how much soil, you can see the soil's hardened over on some of the areas, and it has, there's some poking through, but it has slowed some of the growth down. Now, once it pokes through and starts growing laterally, it will be fine. But what I'm gonna do is to speed it up and break up that kind of hard soil barrier is I'm gonna come back in a few days and do an aeration. And the aeration just on this area will help break back up this harder packed soil. And again, the soil, the grass didn't poke through as well because it was already compacted underneath. I had to put soil down, and then I had to traffic all up and back here to do this giant backyard myself. So I think it'll be okay, slow down the growth a little bit, but aerating this again to loosen that soil back up will help let it breathe a bit more, and hopefully get it to fill in a bit faster. But overall, looking great. There's some gray leaf spot fungus and some webworms. The gray leaf spot fungus is really common after I do this application. But he has a spray company, so I told him, hey, just send him out and have him treat for the fungus. Seems to always happen after we put the soil down. And then I noticed, this is a new sod section, that there's sod webworms in the new sod. So that's gonna be the plan. The progress is good. It's being slowed down a little bit by the fungus, but we're gonna get the growth and get this filling in. As before, this area was just so thin and bare, and we don't have that greenness because of the fungus, but once this fungus gets treated, this area is gonna grow and fill in really, really nicely. There's a little bit down here that also kind of did the same. It was a little low here, so added a good amount of soil. But overall, I mean, you can tell compared to other lawns, you know, the color difference from anywhere is, you know, they look pretty good, but this green is just incredible that we're getting. So I'm gonna have a mow it and everything like that. So what I'll do is I have the aerator next week. I'll just come by, aerate to loosen that soil up. Now, let me head, actually, I gotta head to Advanced Auto, get something for my hitch, and then I'm heading to that customer for the chinch bug, stress grass, and all that. So we'll get over there. All right, guys, here we are. We are at the lawn now. Let's take a look at it. Here's the front yard now. Not too concerned. The customer's not too concerned because of all these trees. I mean, the shade and everything is crazy. So these areas are gonna be tough. And the irrigation's not working well up here, which with the shade, but it looks decent overall, and we're gonna try to keep it that way. But we're not gonna be too concerned about, you know, the front being perfect. These are all oak tree suckers growing, and I mean, the weed controls really don't even touch that stuff. So we're not gonna even be too concerned with the front, but we are gonna treat it and make sure it can look as good as it can. But the back is the main project. All right, now here we are in the back. This is where the love needs to happen. Now, I came here yesterday and identified absolutely chinch bugs. Found them, put them in my hand. It's on a YouTube short on my channel. But that yellowing, not the lime green, but the yellowing around these like bare areas is really what let me know that. I dug around, checked, absolutely is chinch bugs. But now, as you can also see, there's this lime green look in the lawn. And right away when I saw this, this is definitely from stress. It's called chlorosis. What happens when the lawn, now if you look up chlorosis, it'll say, oh, it needs iron, which is technically true, but there's more to it. Now, because chlorosis is that lime green look that you're having, and it's what it is it's the grass it stops making chlorophyll. Now, chlorophyll is what makes the grass green, but it takes the plant energy to do so. So when it gets stressed out, what it does is it stops producing chlorophyll to save its energy to make sure it can survive. So when I see this, especially in a lawn that's thick, I mean, root rot can cause these things, but you know, I checked all that. I said, looks like, and there's a little bit of stunting. I said something's been applied here too much, and it stressed it out, and it was. And it seems to be over applied nitrogen. Over applying fungicide, herbicide, nitrogen, all can do that. So that's what's causing this chlorotic look. And that's why I mixed what I mixed this morning, because I already came here. So we've got the chinch bugs. I put in some fungicide because there is some gray leaf spot fungus, and it's very common when you're going to have stressed grass. So I put some fungicide in there, and the fungicide helps relieve stress. And then that's why I just did the 001 humic acid, full of micronutrients, to hopefully help this stress, because adding more nitrogen or heavy fertilizers is not going to help these yellow areas. Usually what I recommend to most people is, I mean, the best thing to do is almost nothing at all. Just make sure you're watering and mowing properly, but you can apply things like humic acid, potassium, and stuff like that to help. And that's what we're going to do today. So that's, you know, and all the work so far I've done was in mixing the products. I came out here, already checked it, knew what was going on, know what I needed to do, mix them this morning. Now I just have to properly apply them, which for me is one of the easy parts. So, but that's what's going on with this lawn. But as you see, this is why I want to get out here right away. So I think I got a really good mix for this yard, and I think we're gonna make some good progress. Now with chinch bugs, I always follow up in 2 weeks. So I'm gonna be back here in 2 weeks, because chinch bugs reproduce asexually, which means you leave one chinch bug and they can be back to fully infest. So I'm gonna come back in 2 weeks, reapply with a different insecticide, and check to see, because obviously those areas need to be resodded, but I got to make sure the chinch bugs are gone first. And I'll probably again check out the chlorosis and apply more humic acid and a lighter product like that. So let's get to treating this yard. Now, to be honest, while I'm spraying, this is a pretty generous mix. There's really nothing I can, super over apply. So I don't have to be as worried about over spraying, you know, while I'm treating the yard this time. I'd rather think, you know, I can overspray some than under, where when I have weed control and nitrogen and other things like that in the mix, I can, or I have to be a lot more careful. I'm like, okay, I need to worry about, you know, over applying and damaging and stressing the lawn, where in this mix, I don't really have that concern. Obviously I can still do it, but it'd be very difficult to. So this time I'm in the mindset of, let's get good coverage and soak, then, you know, make it a nice, perfect application over the entire lawn. Look at all these moths in here. These are sod webworm moths. Now, I don't see any chewing, and I inspected a lot closer last time, so that's good news. But I've got an insecticide down going anyway, so I can't stop the moths. But when they lay the eggs to the worms that chew on the grass, that'll make sure that takes them out. And the reason I can't stop the moths is because they're not actually feeding on the lawn. And for these insecticides to work, whatever it is needs to actively feed on the turf. So if it's not doing that, we're not going to get any results. So even if a proper insecticide is applied, you'll still see moths, and that's okay. And again, you know, I see some newer sod pieces, and with what I'm applying, that's totally fine. Not gonna be an issue at all there. Make sure I get this area nice. And the moths love the shade, as you could see. When I go under the tree, that's when you see a lot of them. And look at this lawn is stressed. It's nice and thick, but boy, is it stressed from that. This is some chinch bugs in here from that nitrogen, you know. I know I probably Sound like I'm on, all right, oh, that head didn't go down. On repeat here, but it's nice that I'm applying something not stressful. I can soak these chinch bugs area, and that's my plan, is when I get to these chinch bugs areas, I can give them a good soaking and even go over them again. So I made sure to mix myself plenty, because luckily with any extra, it's time for me to treat my own lawn. So I can use it on my own yard. So I'm only concerned about not enough. Nice, I'm gonna go over it real quick here. Make sure I get the whole lawn nice and evenly. Now I'm gonna give those areas a good soaking. And this is a tough shady area. Not too concerned with this. We'll just get, you know, we'll keep feeding it and treating weeds in time and get growing what we can. Doesn't look good enough, can always get some rocks down, just like he has over there on the side. There's some zoysia pieces here. Very random, but they're looking good because chinch bugs don't commonly eat on zoysia. They can though. All right, now that I got the whole lawn, I'm gonna give this area a really good soaking, because this is where the chinch bugs really are, and they're, you know, they're down in there. So I want to make sure I'm getting a good soaking, and that's true with all these products. When you're treating chinch bugs, sob webworms, you really want to make sure you give the area where they're active a nice deep soaking to get that product down in there. And most of these you have to read the label, but you need to water it in as well. Most products you need to, but it's a little bit different on how much. But whatever you're using, that's why it's good to read the label. Oh, and I'm running low. Perfect. I got everything covered, and most of this area double soaked. Well, at least the worst of it. So use the last little bit. So I'm gonna dry out my pump though here. So, okay. That looks good. And then, you know, sometimes I'd come and backpack weeds, and you'll see that in some other videos if you keep watching. But this time, that's it for today on this yard. And actually, it's it for me today overall. I'm close the gate before I forget. You may always wonder and see, well, why am I blocking the driveway when there's all this room? And that's because to roll the hose up, I need the hose to be straight. This is a 1/2 inch ag hose. This stuff is high pressure and really heavy. So when it's rolled out, it becomes a lot of weight. And if you're trying to reel it up from the side, it'll burn right through your glove and your hand. It'll be really tough too. So that way I parked here, and that's why I started in the front yard. Got all that, brought the rest of the hose with me, grabbed more, brought it to the back, and as I'm walking, I'm dropping my extra slack to stop it. Sprayed the rest, picked it back up, and came and left it in a nice straight line. And then now, when I go to reel it up, it's not too far out, so it's not putting too much work on the old motor, and it's a lot easier. See, and bam, rolled right up. So I'll always park my hose reel to line up with the back gate. But, woo, nice sweaty glove. That's why I like the disposables. Don't get my hand back in this gross sweat. All right, guys, and that was what I had to do for the day spray-wise. I figured out what I needed to do with that soil. I'm having an aerator next week for some jobs. I'll bring you along there, and I'm gonna stop by and get that aerated. And then I got this initial lawn sprayed and done, so I made sure those chinch bugs were treated as soon as possible. And that's it for what I need to do. Now when I get back home, I actually need to do some weed eating. So I have to build a shed, or because I'm building up another tent for storage, and one of my other tents broken. That's a whole nother nightmare in itself, but I need a weed eating area down because that's where I'm gonna build it over, and I don't want the grass to be all tall, so it'd be hard and annoying. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm off to a birthday party, and I can go enjoy the rest of my Saturday. So let me head home and get to weed eating. All right, made it home. Now I gotta weed eat and clear this area out, because I gotta build a tent here because my other one broke. So I gotta weed eat this real quick, then I'm done for the day, and I can enjoy the rest of my Saturday. So let's get to it. Alright, that should be nice and low enough. Give me room to work on the shed, but not today. It's Saturday, and football's back on, so I like more than grass. I'm gonna go to a birthday party. I'm gonna watch football. I'm gonna enjoy. We got football tomorrow. I need to put this up. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll figure it out, but I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. And everyone have a great rest of your day.